Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Today, I would like to talk about a book I am reading, and the title is An Era of Darkness by Tharoor. An Era of Darkness, the British Empire in India. You see, I will read the inside cover to begin with. In 1930, the American historian and philosopher Will Durant wrote that Britain's conscious and deliberate bleeding of India was the greatest crime in all history. He was not the only one to denounce the rapacity and cruelty of British rule, and his assessment was not exaggerated. Almost 35 million Indians died because of acts of commission and omission by the British in famines, epidemics, communal riots, and wholesale slaughter, like the reprisal killings after the 1857 War of Independence and the Amritsar massacre of 1919. Besides the deaths of Indians, British rule impoverished India in a manner that beggars belief. When the East India Company took control of the country in the chaos that ensued after the collapse of the Mughal Empire, India's share of world GDP was 23%. When the British left, it was just 3%. Now you see, a lot of people does not know about this, and I hope this talk about what the British Empire did in India, awareness, it creates awareness so people understand how they looted India. So, for example, we have the chapter Looting of India. First, they targeted the cotton industry of India. Now, of course, all this happened 200 years ago, and the consequences, you see, the consequences we as in, especially the people in India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh, they are suffering the consequences. Let me break it down. So, you see, when the British looted India 200 years ago, it was India, all India. Now it's at present three different countries: India, Pakistan, Bangladesh. Now, the British took everything and also destroyed everything when they left. And also, when they left, I think, especially during Second World War, they made a big mess as well when they left. And then, of course, there was the Pakistan-India riots. A lot of people died, killed. What I would like to emphasize is this: they took everything from our ancestors, our ancestors in India. our dads, our granddads. Then in 1970s, they told our uncles and dads to come and work in the cotton mills in Rochdale, Burnley, Rossendale, in the northwest of Britain, England. Now, you see, this is what they did. What actually they did is this. So, for example, say a person called Jack, and he goes into Patel's house. Yeah? So this Jack, he goes into Patel's house. Now, this is just an example. And so Jack and his friends, they go into Patel's house by force. They take everything that Patel owns, including his house and his belongings. And meanwhile, they're staying in Patel's house. They make Patel and his family slaves. This is what East India Company, on behalf of British Raj, British rule, did to India. They went in. First it was trade, but of course they had plans. These were plans thought of, and so they took over India and they made everyone second-class citizens, the Indians, Muslims and Hindus, and then they basically also used divide and rule tactics, which the British Empire was very negatively good at. Yeah, so coming back to the example, Jack takes everything that belongs to Patel, and then 20 years later, Jack gives Patel, here's £10, go and have some fish and chips. And so this is what they did. They went to our country, India, now India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and they took everything. Then they told in the 1970s for our dads and uncles to come work in the cotton mills, and here's £2 a week, something like that. You see what they did? They did not do us any favors. And I would say this again and again, the British Empire, and the British, 200 years ago, not the people of today, were thieves and robbers. Thieves and robbers. So, for example, under the command of this person called Robert Clive, he was one of the East India British government official one of them who looted India in 1757 or thereabouts. So people like Robert Clive, they were thieves and of course murderers. And there is a parallel. We have Netanyahu, who is doing the same thing, and more, because Netanyahu is also about settler colonialism, what the Columbus and the Portuguese and the British did in 1492 in the Americas. So, yes, basically, also don't forget Africa that they looted as well. This is an interesting book I would recommend for everyone to get a copy and begin to read by author Shashi Tharoor. He is a very good academic, very informative in his subject, such as how the British Empire looted India, especially. And there is a talk by Shashi Tharoor on YouTube at the Oxford Union YouTube channel, which again he talks about this book in particular. First it was the talk, and then it turned into the book. This is important to raise awareness. You see, we have to raise awareness for the generations to come that what these people did, because these people chose greed and they ruined everything for the rest of us. I would like to stop now. So this is talk part one of the an era of darkness, the British Empire in India. Thank you for listening.